Well, hello there, everybody. This has been a long time coming, and well, my name is Eamon Fergal, and I am here to just give a little introduction of myself. I am grateful to everyone who came to check me out. Well, enough dilly dallying, enough delaying. This is me. I am, as you can might have guessed, a monster hunter of sorts. And yeah, I hunt monsters for a living, but I decided to take a little break from that to, well, just relax and have some fun with all of you, hopefully. So here we go. I made a little presentation to introduce myself to you. So without further ado, here we go. All right. So, who am I? Let me just get down here. And all right. Oh, ignore that. Ignore that. Okay. So, who am I? My name is Eamon Fergal. Yes, I know it's spelled Eamon, but it's pronounced Eamon. And as I said before, my occupation is that of a monster hunter. My birthday is March 17th, and I am a cool 30 years old. You know what they say, age before beauty. But, wait, why did I say that? That's doesn't really apply to this situation. Never mind. Might be obvious, but I'm a little nervous. Slaying monsters is one thing, but presenting myself before all of you, that's something else entirely. So, moving on. I guess I'll tell you a little bit about myself. What do I like and dislike? Well, my likes are a little varied. They range from astronomy and space. Sci-fi kind of goes along with that. Anime, I love a good anime. Soda, my favorite drink has to be soda. I probably drink way too much of it if I'm being honest. But hey, you like what you like. And lastly, I like heights. This is kind of a weird one. I don't really know how to explain it. There's just something in me that just gets primally satisfied from being up on top of a really tall hill or a building. Now, on the other side of things, my dislikes. Tomatoes, my least favorite fruit. I'm pretty sure they're a fruit anyway. If they're not, then they'll fit along with the next one. Most vegetables. My parents never could get me to eat too many of those. Ironically, one of my biggest pet peeves is people who are overly picky. That might come off as a little odd, but well, maybe I'll elaborate on that someday. And then lastly, horror movies and games. Have to admit, despite my occupation, not a fan. Uh, One other thing that I should have put on here that I forgot: sad music. Sad music is something I really don't like. I listen to music because I want to be happy, not sad. So, there's that. Moving on, we have my favorites, things that I especially like a lot. For video games, I play a lot of those. These are just a few of my favorites. If I went into all of them, we'd be here all night. So these are in no particular order either. Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, classic game from a classic system. Honestly, if I had to say, that's probably my favorite Zelda game. One of my favorites of all time, even. One of my more recent favorites, like this can't climb to the rankings just this year, even, Ace Combat 5. Like I said earlier, I really like sci-fi, and that's a game that has some not a ton of sci-fi in it, but it is what it is. It has fighter planes, which, close enough to sci-fi in terms of the technology that goes into them. The next one I owe you a little bit of an explanation on. Final Fantasy X, second favorite. My logic here was my actual favorite is Final Fantasy VII, but that's like 50% of the Final Fantasy fan base's favorite Final Fantasy. And so I thought that'd be boring to just put that. So Final Fantasy X was my second favorite. uh, Maybe I'm being a little too silly here, but it was actually a close call between 10 and 9, but 10 was the one I put more hours into, so 10 it was. Okay, moving it right along. We have Persona 3, classic JRPG from the PlayStation 2. Love the game, love its message. Well, morals, maybe. I don't know. It's a game where you're playing as Japanese high schoolers who are coming to terms with their mortality. What's not to like? Next one, going in line with my likes of astronomy, we have Kerbal Space Program. I've put an unholy amount of time into that game. Maybe not as much as some other people who have maybe put like, I don't know, thousands of hours, but I've put upper hundreds at least into that game. Next up, Kingdom Hearts. That game has a special place in my heart. That's the game that actually introduced me to Final Fantasy. I'm sure lots of other people can say the same. And if I had to label one Kingdom Hearts game as my particular favorite, it would have to be Kingdom Hearts 2. I'm sorry to all the Kingdom Hearts games that came after, but in my opinion, Kingdom Hearts 2 is where that franchise peaked. Okay, so now we have some of my favorites. Anime. I said I like watching anime. Haven't watched as many anime as I've played games, but here are some of my favorites. Again, no particular order. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is my top favorite of all time, though. That was one of my first anime. It was a good introduction anime, solid. Asobi Asobase. That's how you pronounce that, I think. Kind of a very different from Full Metal Alchemist. There's a lot of anime that can be described as cute girls doing cute things. Asobi Asobase, how you pronounce that, I think, can be described as unhinged girls doing unhinged things, and I love it. It's a great comedy. Okay, next, Demon Slayer, more of a recent anime, well, relatively recent, within the last 5 years. I can relate to slaying monsters, I guess you can imagine. And it's a solid anime. I know some people like to say that the story is kind of weak, but the animation is amazing. I agree with that sentiment, to be honest. Next up, kind of also in line with slaying monsters, Attack on Titan. Another one of my first anime that probably had the strongest opening out of any anime I've ever watched. Next up, another slice of life anime that also fits the descriptor of cute girls doing cute things, Azumanga Daioh. I remember watching that on YouTube. Not even officially. It was somebody who had just uploaded, like, probably from a DVD they bought of it. That's how you got anime back in the day, back when I was in school. And then lastly, we have Gurren Lagann, probably the only mecha anime I've watched from beginning to end. Okay. So that's a little bit about me. I may be moving a little fast. Did I mention I'm kind of nervous? Moving on though. What's next? Goals. That's right. That's what we have next. I'm gonna be really honest. I didn't rehearse any of this. I really should have, otherwise I'd probably be less nervous. So, anyway, setting that aside, goals, stream more regularly. I try to aim to stream about 3 times a week, is 2 to 3 times a week is my goal. I should have put a schedule on here. That's something, a kind of an afterthought. Another afterthought is I should have gotten some music to play for the BGM, so it's not just me yapping. But I generally stream Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at, let's see, did I put time here? I don't think I did put my time zone here. By the time I stream is 2 o'clock General Mountain Time, which I believe is, if you're on the west coast of the US, that would be 1 o'clock. Okay, next goal. I'm not aiming for anything too big. I want to get to at least 500 subscribers, though. I think that would be great. And my next 2 goals: play lots of games, both old and new, and have fun with everyone. I would love it if I could get to a point where I could actually get enough of a community that I could maybe do community events, like community party games. That would be awesome. But we'll see what happens in the future. Okay. Where to find me? YouTube, obviously. The channel you're watching right now, this is where I'm going to do my content creation. And I will be uploading updates about my schedule and what I'm doing on Twitter, or as it's also called, X. Personally, I still say Twitter. And my handle right there, Eamon VTuber EN. EN for English, as in English. Okay. And next up, I believe, where do I... Oh, I did include the... Oh my gosh. I really should have rehearsed this. I forgot about... Hey, well, we already went over this, but when do I stream? Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I start around 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. That's the name of the time zone, which is GMT 7 if you're going off of general time. Okay. Now, credits. I wanted to credit the people who humored me with this, because to be honest, this has been kind of a project. The art design was done by an artist called Rach Collages. As you might be able to guess from that name, this isn't her usual art style, but I personally think she did a great job with it. She really humored me out throughout this whole project, and the rigging was done by me. I learned how to use the program and taught myself how to do it, so if there's anything funky with this model, with this lovely model that you're seeing, you can only blame me, okay? Moving right along, I believe that's actually it. Oh, ignore that. Sorry, immersion. I believe that's just about everything. I should have planned this out more. Let's see. Let's go back to here. Okay, and let's, how about we just take a quick look at the model. So, as you can see, I'm something of a monster hunter. Got a bit of my preferred weapon is the halberd or the axe. And I have a hat. But I can also do this, and this. I can strip down to this. Maybe I shouldn't say that, but you get the idea. I think I'll probably mostly keep them on, though. I like the look. But anyway, that is actually all I have. I really appreciate everybody who came out to check me out and to give me a chance. I hope you enjoyed getting to know me a little bit, and I hope those of you who stick around will enjoy continuing to get to know me. Uh, like I said, I could have done some more planning, but now I'm just getting into my bad habit of being self deprecating, so I'm going to stop right there. uh, thank you again. I will be live Friday on 2 p.m. I will keep you on updates. I will keep updating you on what I'm planning to stream. Maybe I'll pick up some background music by then too, so that's not just me yapping. But yeah. Thank you again for checking me out. I hope you had a good time. I know I did, despite my nerves, and I will see you next time.